I think I'm live. I finished mid-chapter really, chapter entitled Salt of Danger. This is the story of Piyannah and Raki. They are born into an American Indian tribe. They're a bit of outcasts really, because their mother had, or it's Piyannah's mother really. Raki is the son of Piyannah's mother's sister. Both their mothers are dead, and they are at the moment in the tribe of Piyannah's father, Nakachi. He is the chief of this tribe. Rules are meant to be changed, and Nakachi agreed to Piyannah's mother that he will let the children learn the skills of the other sex, the opposite sex. So basically these are two young people, and now we have some daunting news. I finished, they are on their way to learn that they might have to defend the tribe. I was sparing fish in one of the hill streams when the deep, ominous note of the horn of gathering rolled out from the valley. My heart leapt like a stranded trout, for the sound had the horror of a rattlesnake. The tribe was being summoned to hear that danger was closing in on them, to hear of the black feathers. I caught up my 6 fish, threaded a reed through their gills, and ran down the steep hillside. When I reached the encampment, the rest of the tribe had assembled, and Nakachik was telling them that 300 black feathers had been seen coming out of the east, from the country which had been called uninhabited. They were men in war paint, and with them came neither children nor squaws. When they heard this, the women huddled together and caught up their children as if to be ready for instant flight. It is not certain, said Nakachik, in the same calm voice which might have been declaring something of minor importance, that the black feathers will cross the pass into our hunting grounds. If they go to the northwest, I shall send runners to warn the neighboring tribe that they may be the intended victims. If the great hunters consider us worthy, they will choose the tribe of the 2 trees to cleanse the earth of the vermin of the carrion crow. At this time there was a murmur of assent from the braves, and some of the squaws began to look less anxious as they recalled there was a chance the danger would pass them by. Only the food lets danger take him unawares, went on Nakachik. Only the fool lets danger take him unawares, went on Nakachik. So our plans were made soon after the last salt reached the encampment. Those to whom I have given my authority will tell each of you what he is to do for the safety of all. Continue with your preparations, but do not let anticipation change the pattern of your lives until the horn of the gathering tells you that the enemy has crossed the pass. The crowd dispersed, and I was able to speak to Raki alone before he went to give orders to the squaws. It has never before been so difficult to obey, he said, and I've never been so close to understanding this courage and sorrow of women. You can stay here to fight, but I must hide with the women. Hide, when I might be able to save you if we were together. Hide, because I'm more useful keeping squaws from interfering in the battle than I would be if I fought beside you. If we lose the battle, Raki, yours will be the greater danger. Even if you will manage to escape, how will you be able to look after a herd of women? The old women will be like a heavy stone around around the neck of a swimmer, and the young squaws and the children will lame you as though you tried to wade through ant hills. You will have to leave them or starve with them, and I know you will never leave them. Don't you know I should welcome starvation if you had died? Do you think I want to keep you waiting in our little valley? It will be difficult to hide the tracks of so many women, for only ours have been trained to walk in each other's footprints. The black feathers will not give you an easy death when they find you are not a squaw. They will torture you, Raki, and I shall not be able to help you from the other side of the water. I had Dorok shouting for me, and knew we should not have another chance to talk alone. We both carried a weight of fear for each other, so much heavier than the fear of oneself for oneself. Dorok let me take Gorky and 10 other boys to help Raki and our women to carry the things they would need to the chosen hiding place. This was a large cave, its mouth hidden by a tangle of brambles, and near enough to the encampment for 2 journeys there and back to be made between sunrise and noon. There was no need to carry water up there, as a stream ran close by it, but a lot of bread and pemmican was necessary, for it would be too dangerous to light a fire. Nakachik had warned Raki that the squaws must remain hidden until they hear the sound of the horn. If it had not been sounded by the 14th day, they must try to make their way westwards to ask shelter from the neighboring chief. A journey that would take 20 days, even if there was no sickness amongst them. He also warned, as though the enemy might be beaten off in the first attack, they might withdraw only until they saw a favorable opportunity to fall on us again. Squaws who venture back too soon were often carried off, and with black feathers even children would not be safe from massacre. The approach to Raki's cave was up a steep slope of loose shale, without even a thorn bush to afford cover to anyone trying to attack uphill. The cave mouth was narrow and partially filled by a boulder which would conceal their bowmen who lay flat behind it. Several of the girls were skilled with arrows, but I was doubtful whether they would find a human target so easy as the ones against which they had practiced. I was confident of their loyalty to Raki, but would they be able to keep free of the cloud of fear that wrapped the old women and the squaws who still clung to their superstitions? Amongst the rest of us, there was one question of supreme importance. Would the black feathers use their traditional method of attack? On this depended the success or failure of our plans. Would they silently encircle our encampment, creeping forward through the darkness to pile dry grass against the teepee, then set them alight so that those who slept there would stumble out into the firelight, blinded by smoke? A prey easier than the animals stampeded by a prairie fire. Would they do this, or respect the honorable laws of battle? If they held to the laws of the Feathered Council, they would give us a day's warning, so that our women and children could be sent to a place of safety. Then the chiefs would meet to decide the number of braves each might send into battle, and so choose the landmarks from which at dawn the next day the line of warriors would approach each other, advancing under cover or charging across the last 100 paces according to their choice. The black feathers have been outlawed by the Council of 30 Tribes for more than 200 years, said Nakachik. We must remember that they are the children of the carrion crow and have not even the honest cruelty of mountain lion. They will try to attack when we are asleep, setting fire to our teepees, massacring our women and children. We will let them think we are a fat and easy prey. They will find an encampment where everyone appears to sleep, except the man by the watchfire. This man will wear the blanket of an elder and the truth of a scarlet feather. He will know that the darkness is eager with death. Yet he will sit and smoke and wait until he gives the war cry by which we light our fires. Our fires, he repeated, beyond the circle of teepees, shall be set under wood and straw sprinkled with fish oil. Beside each of these a man shall wait with a smouldering torch, its light carefully hidden. It shall be the enemy, not ourselves, who is blinded by the light of a ring of fires, and we, ready in vantage points on the cliff, shall let him slake his thirst for blood in the hot rain of our arrows. Right, that is the end of this chapter. The next chapter is entitled Black Feathers. Happy Wednesday.